Greetings everyone, Looney Farm Guy here with a new mod test for Thursday, September the 8th, and this is the John Deere 4940 self-propelled sprayer by Custom Modding. This is 59.6 megabytes to download, and slots are 18 slots, 3 and 16 for the unit itself, right there. And the dry box is 3 slots, and the sprayer is 16. I do apologize for the weirdness perhaps of this video. I had to re-record the audio. I am having some audio problems with crackling and so forth, so I'm trying to resolve that. And unfortunately, the original recording had a lot of that in there, so hopefully this time it's much cleaner. So anyways, we are going to take a look at these probably in the store momentarily here. And oh yes, at this point the dog was going crazy, farm dog Max. So I had to go, he was all excited about this new mod, and it is indeed an exciting mod. So at this point, I do believe I'm going to go into the store and show you where we will find them. There we go. Find them under vehicles and crop protection. There it is, $195,000 for the unit, 350 horsepower, and we're comparing it. I'm just showing it compared to the case sprayer that we have had recently. So those of you who have been using that one, this one has some significant differences in how it operates and so forth. So we're just looking at, I'm just probably talking away without making much sense. And here we go. We got the in-store self-propelled sprayer. We have some tire options, Lizard, Michelin Midas, and Lizard. We're going to have a few extra tire options there with the narrows, duals, all around, and some wider options. Now the narrows, we will test those out later for crop destruction, just so you know. And as we go through the different various tire options, and there's some extra cost involved with that. Some of them are significant, so just be aware of that. Also, we're just checking out the different prices, comparing prices, and pretty much they all have kind of the same options for the 3 different tire manufacturers. This is really odd, re-recording the audio over top of what I did. And here we're going through the Midas. We're just kind of looking at, tire op. Yeah, it's going to cost you this much for this tire and this much for that tire. So we'll move on fairly soon here. I don't know why I'm spending so much time on the tires. I guess in the moment. Yes, so the Starfire, I don't know if it actually does anything, and we have that. We have a fender option. Yes or no. We have the beacon light, yes or no. We come down to the spray star, and that again, I don't know. I don't think it has any effect actual in the playability. At least on console, it doesn't. And then when it comes to numbers, we have up to 20. You can label it up to 25. 1 to 25 are the numbers available for this model. Right. Moving on. Move it along. I'm talking about something. I don't know what I'm talking about. Am I going back to the tires? Oh dear. Yes. Awkward silence. I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't even remember. More tires? I think we're talking about the Narrows and whether or not they'll do crop destruction. We are going to test that. So now we're moving on to the dry box. And you'll find it under fertilizer spreaders. There's the case ones that we have already. We're just kind of comparing prices. $48,000 for the dry box. It will spread at 32 meters. Yeah, I'm still comparing to the case. I don't know why. 24 miles per hour, 32 meters spread. 19,000, almost 20,000 liters of capacity. And there it is. We have a couple of options for color. That's about it. And no extra charge for the color, so very nice. And at some point, we're going to back out of here. We're still looking at the case ones. We're going to back out of here and look at the sprayers in a moment. Do, 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 do. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm still comparing the case ones. Oh, dear. Yes, anyways. Shall we move on? Hopefully. Yeah, lime and fertilizer for those. Sprayers. You'll find those under, well, sprayers. Or find this one. And there she is. The Boom, $84,990. Up to 4,700 liters of capacity of fertilizer and herbicide, liquid fertilizer at 36.6 meters in width. And I'm comparing it to the case one again, because that's what I do. Back and forth, talking about who knows what. I feel like somebody that's commenting on a movie while it's like, those little commentaries, celebrities talking about a movie while they're watching it and making comments. And here we are in the store. We have three options. We have the extra capacity. I'm not sure if that's worth it. About 2,000 liters for $7,000. So it's up to you whether or not you want to do that. We have the, I can't read it, loading. I don't think it's applicable to console. I think it might have something to do with the manure system, but I'm not sure. I haven't really noticed anything. If you all know what that does, maybe leave a comment. And then the last one is the most significant addition, I believe, to this mod is the spot spraying ability. 39,000. I can't read it. 39 something, I think, which is a standard cost for adding that particular option to sprayers. Now, what makes this most significant is the width and the operational speed. Having this option available on this particular mod is, in my opinion, where the game-changing part of it comes in, because of, the speed and the see and spray. Nothing else does it at that speed. Now we're going to demonstrate here. We have weeds. In this field, I have precision farming turned on, and we are going to set a worker off. There we go. Set them off. Off we go. And there it is, a spot spraying at 20 miles per hour at the 36 meters wide. So that is now the fastest and widest of the sprayers, of any of the liquid herbicide spraying See and Spot. Now we're going to take a quick look at the only other one that I know of is the Rubicon. It also has a See and Spray option, but it is considerably more money and not as fast at only 15 miles per hour. So it isn't the only one that has the see and spray option. Well, the only other, it is the only other one now. Now we have two. This I do believe is the much better option. Every other sprayer that has a see and spray option is only 7 miles per hour. So we've more than doubled the speed of the pretty much every other sprayer with the see and spray option, and every other sprayer for that matter. Workers, by the way, love these things. They work very well with them. No problem. Here we're looking at the lime, the dry box with lime in it. Now we're going to go ahead and set that off. And as you can see, we are spreading not, so as it turns out, not at 38 or 32, but it's probably about 28, but 25 miles per hour, which is, again, the fastest, I believe, of all of the spreaders, at least on console. And we're just going to compare the spreading width of the fertilizer, the dry fertilizer, compared to the spreading width of the lime, because sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't a different width, and it doesn't really just say that on this description of this mod. However, we're gonna lay down some lime here, and we're gonna hop over to the other one that we have empty, and we're gonna fill that up with some dry fertilizer, and it will fill up. You can fill it by any means. It's easy to. I mean, there's no restrictions on how you want to put it in there. We have it at the 8.2 Studio buy anything, buy point here, and it fills very easily there. I do believe we're going to check out a couple of the features of the machine here, which I forgot to look at previously. We have the door opening by L1, and the L1 and R1 pressed. Oh yes, I'm showing a little bit of a body roll. You might want to be careful with that. It does tend to be a little tippy. We're going to turn on the fertilizer spreader, and as you can see, it is, by my estimation, about 2 meters on each side wider. So the 32 meters as opposed to 28 meter spread for lime is my estimation anyways. As you can see there, the difference in width, like so. Very nice. That's still pretty decent lime spread width for lime, especially at 25 miles per hour. You can cover a lot of ground with that, and the capacity is pretty good, nearly 20,000 liters. So you are going to be okay for the most part. I think we're showing here that the ability to, yes, R1 and L1 and your right stick, you can adjust the width of your wheels. I would recommend the widest, due to the fact it tends to be a bit tippy, even when they are set at the widest point. I would probably recommend dual wheels too, as we're going to jump in here with the sprayer that has duals on it. I have liquid fertilizer in there, and I do believe, what am I doing here? Yes, I'm making sure we have crop destruction. We're going to test the crop destruction with the dual narrows. And as I do that, we're going to drive over some crop. And as you can see here, yes, we're crop safe with the narrow tire option, and I do believe I'm going to go for a little bit of a. With the sprayer on there, it seems to be a little tippy, as you can see. We almost held it, and it turtled. So at this point, I'm going like, oh, and I did not have it. Yeah, so there you see, I I unfortunately set the tires wide after I flipped over. And here I'm going to attempt to flip it back over with the other sprayer. Unsuccessfully, I might add. And what I ended up doing was cutting away, gutting a telehandler and flipping it over. And here we are back on our feet with the wheels widened out to its most widest point. And even though it is much more stable than it was before, it's still... you still have to be somewhat careful, because I think I almost tipped it over here again, or it gave a little bit of a... Yeah, there we go. It gave a little bit of a lift. So even at that, you're going to have to be just a little bit careful driving it around, especially if you're on some uneven ground or something. So just as long as you're aware of that, there might be an update. I'm sure there's going to be an update for this at some point. It's such a... it's quite a new piece of equipment, and usually we kind of see updates for these after a little bit of the mod being out in the world, as it were. Here we're showing the speed at which it applies liquid fertilizer. As you can see, very nice. Again, I have precision farming on, so that's why it shows as it does. It is, of course, works well with precision farming as well as not. And yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about here. Again, 20 miles per hour is pretty darn fast for this application. You'll be able to get a lot of work done, and the capacity isn't as large as some of the others, but that's easily dealt with having an extra tank of fertilizer, liquid fertilizer around, or whatever. Yes, here I'm showing that it's easy how to put it on and off to attach the devices or the backs. They do come separate when you buy it. They don't come as a unit, so it's very easy that you just back into it. They're set up, no extra equipment or fancy dancy things, and you just back into it. The booms do have a collision on them, so you need to be cautious with that. But you just back into it like so. The trigger should pop up. Even at the most widest wheel stance, it will fit underneath. And we're going to show you with the sprayer as well, because that one has the duals. And now at the widest spread and duals, it's kind of tight. You got to be pretty precise, but it still does fit in there. And it's not like impossible. So there you go. Just demonstrated that you can hook it up with the wheels spread all the way out and the duals on there. And I'm probably going to be talking about something else on and on here too. Just showing that, yeah, the dry box hooks on fairly easily. I didn't show the interior. I mean, there's a fair bit going on with this. I do really like this mod. It's probably something that many of you have been waiting for some time. We've seen it talked about in the Farm Sim News there with our friend DJ Goham. And I know I will be using this. Oh yeah, we're showing the signals. The signals are attached to the attachable backs. The signals are on the front, as you can see, lights and signals. But no back signals when the back is not attached. Front wheel steering, not all wheel steering, so that's... but it's still fairly maneuverable, I found. It wasn't... I didn't have any trouble turning it around or anything like that. Especially at that width, you don't need a whole lot of really tight turning. And I think that's, well, somewhat wrapping it up. It's the John Deere 4940 self-propelled sprayer by Custom Modding, 59.6 megabytes to download. It is 18 slots for the unit, 3 slots for the dry box, 16 slots for the sprayer part. Dry box, the sprayer, yes. And I'm Looney Farm Guy, and remember, it's only a game, so enjoy this sprayer. I know you all will. See you next time. Bye for now.